At the current juncture, can you identify some potential themes or mega trends where you see there is a 10 to 15 year visibility? Have you done your homework on it? Is that true?
Absolutely. So there are three themes that we like basically, and these are mega themes or mega trends, as you could call them, for India. First is premium consumption.
Okay.
Okay. All premium services and goods will grow at rates much faster than what we think they will.
What is premium consumption? What is the ticket value according to you?
It's the segment, I would say, not the ticket value. Say travel and leisure,
Okay.
hotels, high-end cars, higher-end bikes. You can say a lot of high-end electronics.
Okay.
Okay. All that consumption basket, high-end
Luxury
premium real estate, exactly, premium real estate. All segments will grow at a rate much faster, and the logic is simple. First of all, the pyramid is shrinking at the bottom and growing at the demographic pyramid, income pyramid is growing at the top much faster than the bottom.
Urbanization has started.
Urbanization, higher income levels. But the numbers, if you just put in perspective, can be very stark. And when we talk about 10, 20 year runway, you need to keep those big numbers in mind. Between 2005 and 2018, or 2006 and 2018, the number of households with an income level of more than 30 lakhs grew by 8 times.
Okay.
It was about 10 lakh households, it became 80 lakh households.
8x.
8x, right? That number from 80 lakhs is going to 3 crores by 2030.
Another 80 times.
80 lakhs to 3 crores.
80 lakh to 3 crores.
Another 4 times.
Okay, another 4 times. Okay.
Another 4. So it has already grown.
And the base is 30 lakhs.
And the base is now, the 30 lakh income level.
Income level.
Income level, absolutely, right? Similarly, which is the highest end, with the top affluent. Upper middle class will grow by 3 times.
Okay.
Right? Similarly. So 4x increase in the highest level income level segment, 3 times increase in the upper middle class, and the bottom shrinking. So this will lead to a long runway of premium consumption.
Okay. Premium consumption, just to break it for our viewers, that India grows, capital will grow, Indians will consume more, whether it is travel, whether it is leisure, whether it is experience, or whether it is perhaps buying a better car, a better mobile phone, or better real estate.
Higher end car, higher end mobile phone.
So that's one trend.
Absolutely. Jewelry, eating out.
Okay. What is the second mega trend?
Second mega trend is linked to manufacturing and demographic, which is the increase in the working population.
Okay.
Right. From now till foreseeable future, 10, 20, 30 years, India is the only large country in the world which will grow its working age population. We are going to add 80 to 1 crore working age population people every year for the foreseeable future. China has already peaked out. China's working age population is reducing. Japan anyway peaked out much earlier. Europe has peaked out much earlier. This will be flat. Okay. So the only labor supply in the world will come from India, and we can already see that. And apart from the fact that China is a geopolitical question mark, people are getting worried about China. This also, demographics is a big factor to consider. So manufacturing has to come to India, whether we invite it or not. So it will come. And then within that, if you look at the relative size, the total size of manufacturing in India is 0.5 trillion, right? The world manufacturing GDP per year is 11 trillion.
Okay.
So we are just 5% of the world, and we will add 20% of the working age population for the foreseeable future.
But will everything in manufacturing do well? Because manufacturing starts from, cars to even electronic phones, even pharma is manufacturing, everything is part of manufacturing.
Absolutely.
What will do well in manufacturing?
So, for example, in cars, we already have a critical mass of ecosystem because we've done it for the last 30 years now, that cars and two-wheelers ecosystem is very well developed. Electronics, we have barely scratched the surface. Defense manufacturing, we have barely scratched the surface. So there are many segments, renewables, for example, we have barely semiconductors, we have barely scratched the surface. So these are the segments which will have a much longer runway. Auto will do well. Pharma, we have, we are the number one in terms of volume manufacturing. Pharma, chemicals, we are anyway doing well. These new segments can have a much higher growth rate for much longer than we think.
What about risk of automation? Let's say 10 years ago, if I would have made a template for Indian IT sector, no one would have thought that this sector would see a single-digit growth. No one thought that AI, in a sense, will have a basic problem in terms of absorbing the coders.
Absolutely.
So automation and technology has changed the way how IT would do well. Why do you think that cannot happen in manufacturing?
So, for example, even to manufacture those robots, you need people.
Okay.
Right? So there is, wheels with wheels. And net is that you can't do away with labor completely. Textiles, for example, it is a labor intensive job. Of course, you need people to man the machine. So maybe you'll upgrade the skill set requirements, but that doesn't mean you do away with people entirely. And especially given the fact that elsewhere the labor pool is shrinking. So you might just need a robots just to compensate for the shrinking labor pool, if nothing else.
Okay. What's the trend number third? We've discussed per capita, we've discussed manufacturing. Trend number third.
So first is premium consumption, and that includes financialization of savings.
Okay.
So that means that segments, of course, banks have been good. We are positive on banks, etc. NBFC is well known. But when you are talking about premiumization and higher income levels, it means that you probably see capital market segments like brokers, AMCs, insurance, wealth managers, retail financing. Those segments can grow faster than the rest of the economy, right? So premiumization and financialization of savings is one theme. Physical asset creation is another one, which manufacturing is a big part of that. Infrastructure, because is chicken and egg, right? For manufacturing, you need infra. But it happens that if you create infra, then manufacturing, is attracted and it comes automatically. And third offshoot, of course, of all this real estate. You need commercial property, industrial property, and household property. In my mind, I'm very clear that our target growth of GDP of 7% growth cannot happen without physical asset creation. So if we do not have our manufacturing and infra and real estate right, we can probably not grow beyond 5.5%. That 1.5% extra has to come from fixed asset creation. Even today, China is creating gross fixed asset per year of $7 trillion. We are creating fixed assets of $1 trillion.
Yeah.
So every year, if we don't grow, the Chinese lead on physical assets is growing. So we have a long way to catch up, and this can have a, that 10, 20, 30-year runway. These are kind of things that we should look for when we are talking about the longevity of the runway. And the third one is, the third theme that we are talking about is technological disruption and digitization. So this whole ecosystem that we have developed of Aadhaar, UPI, Jandan, mobile has had so much implications, so many implications across categories. Delivery of government services, subsidies, healthcare, etc. is become much more efficient, more helping many more people directly, lifting them out of poverty directly. The fact that now you have so many fintechs and B2B, B2C companies disrupting existing business models and creating new business models which did not exist. And we've only seen, I think, the top of the iceberg in terms of a few listings in the last 2-3 years, which have, listed at a premium, went down, and now again are coming back
the
to
consumer
profitability.
tech and the fintech companies.
Consumer tech, fintech, even B2B companies will come. Because I think this whole ecosystem is below the surface. We've just seen the tip of the iceberg. There are like hundreds and thousands of startups which have been funded, and I'm sure a lot of them keep coming. There are hundreds of drone companies in India. I didn't even realize how many drone companies are in India till I started doing a study. There are literally hundreds of drone manufacturers, robotics manufacturers. All those will come to listing. So technology and digital disruption is another big theme that should grow faster than the rest of the market.
So a lot of folks say, okay, railway stocks are overbought, defense stocks are priced to perfection. There are hundreds of drone companies. It's a crowded trade. You think the defense as a theme still has a long way to go?
Oh, certainly. Don't get me started on that. Our entire defense spending is probably 2.5 lakh crores, 3 lakh crores. We're talking about $40 billion, $50 billion, which will probably go to $60, $80 billion in the next 5-7 years. This was all imported mostly, right? 80% imported, 70% imported. The government has given a path to 70-80% Atmanirbharta, indigenization, and item by item, they have laid out the plan as to this item will not be imported from this year onwards. It's a clear path. So our local manufacturing, as of now, after many years, has come to 1,20,000 crores, right? And 3 lakh is the spending, which will anyway go to 6 lakh crores because 8-10% CAGR happens for spending in any case. So this 1 lakh crore can anyway go to 4 to 5 lakh crores in the next 5-7 years, which is the local substitution of local procurement. What also happened is that forever, we did not allow private sector participation. So there was no sophisticated private sector ecosystem of supply chain. But now that has come in. In the last 4-5 years, we are seeing public-private participation increase. All the PSCs are also sourcing a lot more from the private sector because they need to ramp up. Everything can't be done by the public sector. We've seen in sector after sector, whether it's auto, which started in the 80s, pharma again started in the 80s, IT. Wherever private sector comes in, ultimately that ecosystem develops, we become efficient and we become world-class competitive. We haven't even scratched the surface of exports. The whole export market, our 3 lakh crores is what I said, approximately $50 billion. The trade in defense is $1 trillion,
Yeah.
which we haven't even touched.
We don't talk about it.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.